Blammo!
This is just like iCarly.
We've done it. No, it's
The
wrong.
iCarly reboot.
It's wrong. There's 2 of me and 1 of Maddie. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Maddie's flanked by 2 of me. Let me fix this. Let me fix this live on air.
Flanked is such a good verb. Holding hands with my dog right now.
Giving him emotional support in these turbulent.
Well, I just haven't seen him because our air conditioning broke.
Oh, really? How's it going over there then?
Yeah, so... Well, it's fine. It's fixed now, but I was not at home because I was staying at friends for a little bit, and then also just been working all day. So.
Yeah. It's not super hot in Salt Lake. Like, it's hotter than usual, but it's still, like, mostly within, like, normal range. It's been, like, 90.
Yeah.
Like,
because there's, like, a heat cloud is what it's called.
Right.
Like, technically. Which is so funny. What a funny... But it's only 91 here now. Wow.
Oh, you guys are chilling out. Because I was going to say, that's the weird thing about it, is that it's like 110 degrees in Spokane, and then it's like 60 degrees in San Francisco. Like, everything's just like...
Yeah.
It's called entropy. It's called thermodynamics.
It's called science. Look it up.
It's called science. You should look it up, actually. What's up? We got somebody in the chat. We got Elsie in the chat.
I know.
Elsie, I hope that you know science, because this is going to be a very science-heavy episode.
Yeah. Science ruined my life this week because I don't like it when it's 85.
Fair.
I just don't prefer it. So when it's 112 and the coldest it gets is 85,
right.
That's not really my jam.
It's like 85 at like midnight.
So, but it's fine. Everything's fine now.
we got it. We got it figured out.
Climate change, climate change. We love climate change. That's my new version because there will be no Christmas if there's no snow. What's that? What is what's the claymation special when the kids are like, "There's no Santa Claus." It's the one with the heat miser. Which yes, yeah. When they're like, if there's no snow, then Santa will stay in retirement or something.
It's true.
That. Yes, it is.
It's everything to do with snow.
No.
Allegedly.
There is no, isn't it like there's that one town and it's super hot. It's super hot, and there's no Christmas spirit or something like that. And then they go to the heat miser. Heat miser's like, I own this town. You don't touch it. And then the coal miser's like, I would love to, but my brother's a D-bag, so I can't. Okay, please clarify for me. I want to know.
Oh.
Yeah, because that one town doesn't have Christmas spirit because it's never cold. And there's that reindeer, they have to put socks on its head.
Oh.
Because they're like,
it's too hot.
It gets taken by the dog catcher. I'm like, I don't know.
Fun.
Like
Merry
merriment
Christmas
and joy. So they don't know the plot? They'll never know the plot of the year.
Eat, Papa, eat.
That's Rudolph.
I know. I know it is.
I was always a Santa Claus is coming to town person. Myself.
Wait, is it you or the Santa Claus the one with the heat miser?
Yes. That's the
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Also, Jack Frost, which is not a beloved member of that collection, but I watch it every year.
But it should be. But it should be.
Okay, I'm in now. It happens every time. Whenever I open up Audition, OBS is like, I don't know what happened to that microphone. It just disappeared. I don't know how that could be. That's my impression of OBS.
Also, Maddie, do you have Audacity?
Yes, I'm ready.
Sick.
I'm ready now.
All right. Yeah,
Jackson, have you seen the Jack Frost claymation special?
Not since I was a young one.
Oh.
All right. Well,
it's a doozy.
It's really honestly so depressing. It's like the most depressing one of all of them.
Okay.
And it's told, the narrator is the groundhog from Groundhog.
Oh, right. I do remember that.
And he's so scary.
Ooh. Maddie was scared of him. / is still scared of him.
It's like
scary. He's a groundhog that wears a
Maddie
vest.
still has to hide behind the couch when the groundhog comes on.
No, I don't like that one.
But that is just about Jack Frost, spirit sprite who brings cold, and then he falls in love with a woman because she's like, I love Jack Frost, just because she likes winter and everyone else is a little bit of a Scrooge.
Yeah.
And then, so he goes and asks to become human because he falls in love with her. So they, like the Christmas master or whatever, turns him into a human, and they're like, you need to find gold, you need property, and she needs to be your wife by the end of the winter, or like, you gotta go.
It's just a love
and then,
story.
so he's like, I'm in love with you. And she doesn't know that he's Jack Frost because he's not Jack Frost anymore, so she doesn't care about him at all. It's so sad. And so then he just ends up like renouncing his humanity so that he can like save her life or something. And then he's just alone forever at the end of the movie.
Sometimes you gotta make sacrifices
like,
for the
that's
people
why
you
you
care
love
about.
winter.
That's the
You're like,
lesson.
wow, what a fun holiday treat.
It's not you, it's me.
So
That's
fun
the lesson.
for the kids. They're like, someone will fall in love with you, but it's only because of what you can do and not because of who you are.
It's all temporary.
So if you can't perform, then you will never find love.
You can't perform.
True.
That's just the way it is.
What are the other, like, what was
it.
the weird Rudolph sequel? It was like Rudolph's New Year's Rockin'
Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Yeah.
What was up with that? That one was fucking weird.
I don't even remember. I don't even
know. I have no memory of that one.
I remember that. So,
like,
okay, in Rudolph's Shiny New Year, that's the one where they go to the island of lost toys, right? Which is like a terrifying hellscape.
No, that's
Misfit toys?
Rudolph. That's Rudolph.
Are you sure?
That happened to the first.
When they go to the...
Yeah, we are the island of misfit toys.
Are you mega sure?
Yeah,
Why would they go to there in the first
Charlie
one?
in the box. Because everyone's
that's where you meet the dentist.
No, you don't meet the dentist there. Hold on.
The dentist goes there. No, this is what Rudolph, he doesn't fit in because of his stupid, dumb nose. And then the elf doesn't fit in because he doesn't want to be an elf. He wants to be a dentist.
This is true.
And so then they go with Yukon Cornelius to the island of misfit toys. And all the toys are like, I have square wheels. I'm a bad train.
Right.
I'm a little dolly and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm here.
Okay, hold on.
They're like, oh, we're going to get you all homes. All of you are going to get a home. And then they go back. And then there's the, ooh, Yeti. And then they all get homes. They all get to go to the children because there's like a strike or something and they don't make new toys. But then that begs the question, why didn't they just correct their mistakes in the first place? Because you're not a mistake. Charlie in the Box is the best one.
I'm Googling it.
Nobody wants to play
because
with
if I am
Charlie in the
incorrect,
Box.
I'm calling Mandela effect that it's in the original one.
They're in the original, but they're probably also in Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
Well, hold on. No, I want the movie, not the
Something
abstract idea of the story. Wikipedia.
I know for a fact that they're in the original Rudolph.
Okay.
They sing about misfits. That's the whole thing.
I know that.
No.
But I'm sure the themes transfer over to the sequel. That's what makes a good sequel.
The only thing about Rudolph Shiny New Year is partying it up, baby.
It doesn't say anything. Storyline. Sam the Snowman tells us the story of a young red-nosed reindeer who, after being ousted from the reindeer games because of his beaming honker, teams up with Hermie, an elf who wants to be a dentist, and Yukon Cornelius, the prospector. They run into the abominable snowman, and Rudolph vows to see if he can get oh, never mind. There it is. They find a whole island of misfit toys. Okay, well, it's fine because I'm in an alternate universe, and it's a Mandela effect.
Don't you?
I was not wrong. But anyway, what I was trying to get around to... What
happened for 2/3 of the movie?
What I was trying to get around to is that there's one little toy who's a plane who's like, oh, I can't fly, my wings don't work. And then at the end, when they're like dropping all the presents out, they like give a little parachute to each of them. And then there's this moment where he picks up the plane and he looks at it and just throws it out of the sleigh without a parachute, even though it's been established it can't fly. And it doesn't have the capacity to fly. So, like, hey, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not okay.
So, I'm gonna start my recording. One moment. Avatar. Testing.
I started my recording.
Yeah, you just start whenever. We don't need to sync up anymore. So now that I've taken a break to acknowledge the fact that I've started my recording, I've forgotten entirely about what we were talking about and what I was going to say. You know what? Okay. Have I talked...
we're talking about the Claymation Christmas specials.
Have we talked on the podcast about Passengers and my beef with Passengers?
The one with Chris Pratt?
Yes. Because
I don't think so.
Because there
Maddie and I saw that movie
in theaters.
Yeah, no, I did too. I worked at the movie theater at that point.
We bought sushi and took it into the movie theater.
So, just
and there was a pregnant woman right next to us. I could have killed her.
So, just speaking of Mandela effects, this is the one thing that I swear to God I am like more willing to believe that I'm in an alternate universe than that I am wrong about this. I feel this so strongly, so deep in my bones. Because in that movie, there is like a robot butler who talks to the two of them. And it's played by Peter Serafinowicz. Except it's not played by Peter Serafinowicz. It's played by Michael Sheen. And for some reason, I just thought it was Peter Serafinowicz this whole time. But it fully and completely is some other guy with a pretty different energy from Peter Serafinowicz. Like, I don't think I would mix up Michael Sheen and Peter Serafinowicz, and I am so sure it was him. I literally refuse to believe that it was Michael Sheen all along and they didn't change it at some point.
I don't know. I've only seen it once. It was years ago.
I swear.
It was so long ago.
I guess I should have taken more. I feel like I'm being quizzed on something.
We needed more notes.
What about that part when he's playing basketball by himself?
No, I don't.
That part's pretty cool.
I remember very little about that movie, except that Lawrence Fishburne shows up in the third act, I think.
Oh, yeah, he super does.
Good old Larry Fishburne.
I don't remember anything about that movie, apparently.
Yeah. See, here was the takeaway. Here was the takeaway for me, was that I remember seeing it in 3D, because I had just gotten my job at the movie theater at the time, so I was getting all the upgrades. And I just remember thinking that, like, the stars out the window in 3D looked really good. And it, like, felt really nice to, like, feel the depth of, like, space outside in 3D. And I thought that was really well done. And I was like, yeah, 3D is working for passengers. But I don't remember anything else about the movie. I just remember that one sensory experience.
This movie looks real good in 3D.
Yeah, I remembered it looked pretty good in 3D. I don't
It's a
remember
10
what
out of 10
happened.
movie.
So, hey.
You know what else looks pretty good in 3D?
Avatar. So, hey, what's up, guys? This is No Nerds Allowed. My name's Jackson McMurray.
My name is Kezia Rhodes.
My name is Madison Louise Rhodes.
Excellent. And we are Sans Adeline today, again. It's been a rough few weeks, and we haven't had the three of us all together on an episode in quite a while, it seems. But I think next week it'll be okay.
The summertime.
Yeah. Next week we'll reteam for Black Widow.
What are we doing next week?
Black Widow. Because for some reason...
Florence Pugh.
Because for some reason we've never done a Marvel movie on this podcast besides when we did Iron Man 3 as a Christmas special. And, like, it feels like if Adeline and I are good at anything, it's talking about Marvel movies with each other. That's, like, our number one skill. So, like, I don't know why we never thought to do that before. Like, we were doing this podcast when Infinity War came out and when Avengers Endgame came out.
It's just something personal.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know why it, like, never even crossed our minds that we should do Marvel movies. But anyway, speaking of Avengers Endgame, guess what is still the highest grossing movie of all time, even though it briefly wasn't? It's Avatar, the film about which we are speaking today. You guys are the Avatar guys. Do you want to explain yourselves?
Number one movie of all time. First of all, I
you go.
As I watched this film for the past 3 hours, one thought kept coming to me was that I believe this film was the first step in radicalizing my thought. Because it prepped my brain to be anti-capitalism,
right,
anti-war, and anti-America.
Right.
That's my opening statement.
Which is kind of weird because it's
this
in
was
a
my
weird kind of way. It's kind of like the nicest James Cameron movie. Like, James Cameron movies are pretty grim and like doomy a lot of the time, and this one's like, but this is important. This is pure and good and wonderful. And James Cameron doesn't really have things that are pure and good and wonderful in his movies very often.
Yeah. My thought process for this was how everyone in the world has forgotten Avatar.
Right.
Like nobody remembers Avatar.
Yeah.
Why is it that we remembered Avatar? Like, what is it about? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I needed to rewatch this movie. Like, I could have told you beat for beat.
Right.
What happens? So that's been my, like, what is it about this movie that made me want to watch it over and over again? Because
right.
I think we saw it in theaters 3 times.
Are you guys just like
3 or
having
4
an
times?
existential crisis where you're like, is this even good? Am I just like interrogating the fact that I might not actually like this?
Like, why is this still, like, I will still say I love Avatar. Like,
right.
I like it.
Right.
So, I think it was caught in the crosshairs of we were going to karate. And, like, the people at karate were like, it was so cool.
So good.
It was so good. And they're like, there's a giant space tiger. What's not to like? And I was like, okay, I'll go see it. I want to fit in.
Right.
And then our parents were getting a divorce. So our mom took us to the movies a lot.
Right.
A lot.
A lot. Like, we went to the movies every weekend.
Okay.
We saw at least 10 movies 3 times in theaters.
Cool.
For like,
I don't know.
3 years.
A
lot of movies.
What were some other of the divorce greatest hits?
Princess and the Frog.
Okay.
The Iron Giant, kind of. That one's not in theaters, but we watched it a lot then.
Theaters.
Not in theaters, but it was.
A lot.
It came with the divorce.
I feel not for me. I already watched it. I don't know. I feel like there are other things that we saw like more than once that we were like, this isn't even good. Like we didn't even like it, but we're going again. Then on top of that, our dad also wanted to see movies with us. So then we would be like, okay, we'll go again with you.
Yeah. So maybe
basically anytime Avatar was on TV, we watched it.
Maybe
for about 5
years.
We
had it on DVD.
Maybe that's why this movie performed so well, is because your guys' parents were getting a divorce and you guys went and saw it like 8 times with either parent. Like, maybe that's why this was the highest grossing movie of all time.
But also, as I watched it, I realized that for like at least the first 45 minutes, I could tell every time a new chapter began. Because I'd be like, oh, this part's called You're Not in Kansas Anymore. That's the second scene of the movie.
Oh, like
and then when he gets lost, it's its own scene.
Like the chapters on the DVD
I
menu.
also think I watched it alone. Yeah, on the DVD.
No, I've been on airplanes where Avatar is an option to watch it, and I'll choose to watch Avatar. I'll be like, new movies I've never seen before? No, Avatar for 45 minutes? Okay.
Because, like, I feel like we're in a place with Avatar culturally where we're, like, kind of post-backlash, right? Like, there was, like, 3 years when it first came out where it was, like, Avatar, great movie, incredible, 3D is great, highest grossing movie of all time, we all love Avatar. And then, like, after that, people were like, do we actually really like this that much? And there was a long time where that was kind of where most of us were. Where it was like, I don't know if this is really as great as we thought it was. And now we're just kind of moved on from that to just, like, not thinking about it at all anymore. Like, I feel like that is the fate.
Post-Avatar society.
Yeah.
It's just Avatar apathy.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Yeah. No one cares.
Which is why I think it is so insane.
But we care.
like how long Avatar 2 has been percolating. And like I think that Disney thinks
I never forgot. I'm waiting.
I never forgot.
Right. I think Disney thinks that Avatar 2 is going to be another tremendous blockbuster that they're going to take like highest grossing film of all time back again with Avatar 2, or like just have it go crazy like the first one did. I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, I don't think people care enough about Avatar to show up like that.
I know 3 people who will. I know at least 3 people who will. Us and my friend Courtney. Courtney also loves this film.
Right, yeah.
To this day. Shout out to Courtney.
And, like,
we love you, Courtney.
I also think, like, for a movie like this, for Avatar 2 to work, like, the Avatar 2 script will have been written, like, 6 years ago by the time the movie comes out, right? Like, they were filming this movie, like, a year and a half ago, at least the first time. Like, that script's gotta be, like, collecting dust very fast. And I can't help but think, like, in the political landscape of today, any script that was written more than 2 years ago is just gonna really feel like it. I don't know.
That's what, there's the timelessness of the tale of Avatar.
Genocide.
Genocide bad, one white man good.
Yes, there is
exactly.
one white man.
It's over and over. Last of the Mohicans, Pocahontas. Dances with Wolves, all of these.
We love those.
Avatar joins the ranks.
We love those single white men.
And it's true, because they're more special and they are chosen by the spirit god.
Yes.
Eyhwa. Also, a weird thing that I picked up about this movie this time is that, like, Sigourney Weaver's character is, like, scientifically trying to prove there is a god or something like that.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
There's measurable. She's like, why does it matter that we don't tear down these trees? Because it's like a brain, and you're like, also because like people live here.
Right.
Feels like enough reason.
Yeah.
Where they live.
Not destroy their home while they're inside of it.
Right. You want to know what wigs me out the most about this movie? Is that the avatars, what are they called? The Na'vi. But they are the avatars. The avatars don't look like the people that they are.
No. Avatars are the ones from the science.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I didn't say you're not used to your avatar body. It's not. Because an avatar is a vessel. That's what it's the definition of an avatar. Right.
The Na'vi avatars of the humans.
They're the Na'vi. They are not. No, they're not.
No.
Okay. You finish.
Are you saying the humans are the avatars and the Na'vi are something else that they turn into?
No, so the Na'vi, they're their own species.
Yes.
The humans are their own species.
Yes.
The avatars are a cross between those two.
Yes.
So the humans can navigate, but they are not Na'vi, they're avatars.
That's what I was saying, literally. That's literally what I said. You freaks.
I don't think that's...
I was trying to say...
Why did we both stop you?
I was trying to say that the avatars don't look like the people that they are avatars of. Like, they do not look like Sigourney Weaver or Sam Worthington, like, at all. Like...
Yeah, they do.
They do.
I saw Sigourney. Yeah. I saw her face.
I don't think so.
I literally thought, no, there's no face line like Sigourney's. I thought that as I watched the film. I said, that's Sigourney Weaver. Who I kept saying Sojourner Truth.
Sojourner Truth.
Do you think it looks more like Sojourner Truth?
I mean, marginally. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just whack.
She also has eyes and a face.
I'm outnumbered.
I just don't think that you're as well prepared as we are.
Fair enough.
Probably.
I was thinking about taking notes.
Yeah. Well, I do think though that like
on this one.
the VFX held up better than I was expecting. I feel like the first act is pretty rough sometimes. Like, you can kind of tell when they're like, this is a scene that we need to make sure we nail, and we're going to, like, really devote our resources to making sure this looks great. But some of the setup scenes, like, in the first act, you look at those guys, and you're like, I don't think I buy this, like, at all. Like, there's... I was watching Walking with Dinosaurs a little while ago, the, like, 1998, like, BBC series. And, like, that show has, like, weirdly great special effects in the sense that, like, they look kind of old and, like, you know, textury and not, like, super great, like, physically, but, like, they're superimposed onto, like,
something.
But they're, like, superimposed onto real backgrounds, and they, like, interact with their environments in a way that feels really good. And I think that one of the biggest, like, visual problems I end up having with this is that, like, especially in the first act, when it doesn't look quite as great, when they're clearly not devoting as much resources into it, it just all looks goopy and animated, and, like, you're like, I don't feel any of this, because it's just, like, animated guys running around in an animated world, and, like, there's not any, like, touch point for you to, like, reference of, like, reality, I guess.
Yeah. I do think that, like, one of the best things about this movie is the world building, though. Like, everything feels like that is part of the world building, is like, it's still kind of like, I'm kind of getting used to this, and the poison air and the what have you. But by the time you get to the Hallelujah Mountains and they're up floating in the air, you're like, ooh, this is cool.
Right.
This is Michelle Rodriguez. She's flying us around.
Why do the mountains float in the air is my question.
Because of
science.
There's gravity. I don't
Okay,
know.
noted.
How do they get into the avatar bodies?
Right.
We don't know.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I mean, look.
Through a mind tunnel.
Just because they don't explain it doesn't make it a plot hole, and I'm comfortable with that. I kind of wish I knew why the mountains floated, but I don't know. I can move on, I suppose. They just do. It's fine.
So you kind of like but because Jake Sully is our narrator,
right.
So he doesn't know
a lot.
Know.
That's true.
But Norm, he probably knows why, because he's like, How could you
Hallelujah
not
Mountains.
know?
Haven't you heard of them?
The famous ones? He's like, literally no.
It's like, no, I
was a
haven't.
Marine.
He's
How many times do I have to say I was not a PhD student like everyone else? You all know.
He's like, I know how to shoot. I can shoot a gun.
I don't know what a mitochondria is. Stop asking me.
That's, oh, sorry. My computer is not charging for some reason, but everything's fine.
Because, yeah, like, one of the things that I couldn't help but keep thinking about with this is, like, James Cameron is as much as he is, like, the most successful blockbuster filmmaker, his movies have, like, a streak of doom to them, like, almost always, you know? Like, both Terminator movies are all about, like, people coming back from this, like, doomed future. And, like, Aliens kind of takes place in the doomed future where it's, like, these people are just being, like, fed to these aliens for the sake of, like, the corporate interests of the Wayland Company. And, like, Titanic takes place on the Titanic. Like, the whole time, you know, like, that boat's going down. Like, so much of James Cameron's whole thing is, like, about just, like, this, like, creeping dread of this, like, bad thing you know is gonna happen, you know? And, like, this movie, I mean, I haven't seen The Abyss and I haven't seen True Lies, but, like, this movie is the only one of these, like, huge, massive blockbusters he makes where it's, like, they figure it out, at least kind of, at the end. I mean, I guess, you know, all the humans do just kind of go back to their doomed planet at the end, which is its own thing, but, like, this one, James Cameron's like, no, but, like, this is good. Like, nature and trees and shit rules. And this movie's all about people fighting for nature and trees and shit, and they win, and we get to keep it, you know? Which is, like, very much not, you know, not his normal thing, you know?
Yeah, we love nature and trees.
Nature and trees.
And shit.
A lot of trees in this.
It's true. Yeah. That's
and
the trees.
Important trees.
Important trees. Trees that have souls inside of them.
This movie has, like, maybe the most
He's
important
real,
trees
Jake.
of any movie I've ever seen.
It's
have you seen the Lorax?
I would argue that those trees individually are not as important as the Avatar trees.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Collectively, they're the same. Like, all trees are important.
Yeah, of course, trees are always important. Every tree has value. If Avatar's taught me anything, it's that every tree has value.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's true.
It's true.
What about you guys?
Also, these trees. What about our trees?
I don't know. I just feel like I've been talking a lot when this is, like, kind of your guys' episode.
Here,
like,
I wanted to talk about. This is what I want to talk about.
Okay.
What's with the ponytail thing? Like, I'm on board with it. But why, when they were conceptualizing this movie, why were they like, you know what? Let's have them. It's cool to, like, there's, like, a physical bond. I'm fine with that. But why were they, like, inside a braid? Well, yeah. Everyone is born with a giant braid.
Like, every organism on the planet has like a universal Ethernet port coming out of their head that they can just plug into each other.
That's religion.
and connect your brains.
So can, like, a horse connect to a banshee? What is it? What are they called?
That's true. What if animals can animals Ethernet to each other? And
when they, like, reproduce?
I guess.
Do they?
Well, I'm still confused how they reproduce. But also, does that mean that there's no? Well, because the human has to grab both braids. The human, the Na'vi, has to grab both braids. So do the horses not have the ability to talk to God? They just have to. They just have to be horses.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's in their little tentacle guys are inside that cup. You know,
right?
And only the humans can get in. The Na'vi.
But maybe, you know how, like male clams, like, some of them, their, like, penis is, like, 40 times longer than their body.
Right.
Maybe it's like that somehow.
Maybe.
I don't know. But like that's also like it's like a spiritual thing. It's not like that's not how they reproduce.
But
Right.
it's
That's how they,
also
like,
a physical
connect.
thing.
Because
It
so,
is,
yeah,
but
so,
it's not like that's not how they get pregnant.
yeah, because they
I
don't.
think.
I've always heard, like, all I ever hear about Avatar. This is my first time watching it today, inexplicably. All I ever hear about Avatar is the like, oh, they have weird hair sex in it. To which I say, like, I don't think they did. Like, was I just not paying attention? Did I miss it? Like, they didn't ever put their hair braids
They
together. They do?
They did put their hair
They
braids
do.
together.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
they do.
They do.
And then they have
Roll the
sex.
tape.
But I think
I must have just missed
But
it.
then they have sex.
But so then,
But I
okay,
think
then
I
later.
don't think that's sex.
It's just like their own
I-
spiritual
I
thing
think
that
that
is
is like,
like
a that's
foreplay.
like to them though. Yeah. I like that's like
Yeah,
mate-
spiritual
like, being
foreplay.
mated. It's spiritual, but there's also physical. But they
Right.
did both.
Right.
They did
Sute,
both.
pour one out for Sute.
Mate for- Oh yeah, we miss
We are
you.
mated before eyhwa.
It did strike me as odd that they do
And then-
kiss. That just seems weird. Like, why would they also kiss? It seems
With
like
their
they have
no
their
lips.
whole other thing. Yeah, they like don't really have lips. So like, why are they kissing? Why are they
And
kissing
it's
each other?
I got thrown off by the kissing too because it felt like an Earth thing. I was like, well, do
Exactly.
they kiss in this? And Pandora, do they kiss?
Or is she
Jake
just like
silly just grabbing her face and she's
Yeah.
confused?
maybe they talked about it? Like
That's kind of nice.
like maybe they talked about it. Like they have a relationship. Maybe they were like, look, like our sexual needs are gonna be different, and like something really important to me
Wait.
is that I like put my mouth on your mouth. I know you don't do that, but that's like one of my things. Is that
They
cool?
said that when they're braids. That's how
right.
that's how they communicated.
Yeah, it's a give and take, right? Like
Oh,
Sully's
yeah.
like,
Like-
I'll put my braid in your braid. That's not something I am like super
Yeah.
into. As long as the give and take is
Please
you can,
kiss
like,
me.
put your mouth on my mouth. Like that's the
Yeah. Yeah, he said braid for braid, mouth for mouth.
yeah,
It makes
just
sense.
reciprocate it.
Right.
You gotta
Mouth
fulfill
for
your
mouth,
partner's
yeah.
needs.
Yeah, needs being met. Exactly.
Why did they do that? Why was that something that they did? I
don't
feel-
know.
'cause, like, I just want to know biologically if you took an X-ray, is there like tentacly things all the way down? Like there has to be,
Yeah, I
and
think
maybe they
there's.
just wrap the hair around it.
That's what I assumed. I
Or is the
assumed
hair
there's like
part-
an appendage that comes
Why
out.
is
of
it
the
so
back of their
long?
head. So it can reach.
With
So it
their
can reach
whole
all the way to a
body.
horse's head.
Yeah. I guess that's true, but yeah, but so can they only connect? Like, what else can they connect to? Because they can connect the tree, horse, each other, and skybird.
And
but what
tree.
else? Oh, and the black thing.
Space tiger.
Space tiger
Yeah,
and the
the
trees.
tiger.
They make such a big deal out of the trees. We're talking
But
about how
not the
important the
rhino.
trees are.
But not the rhino.
No,
The rhino, never seen a braid on a rhino.
no Ethernet port on a rhino.
I love that little rhino though. I
Something
love
to
that
think
little
about.
rhino. I'm a big little rhino fan.
You like the little rhino in Attack of the Clones. You like the little rhino in Avatar.
If there's a little rhino, I'm gonna like it.
Even if it's
Maddie
not
and I,
little,
we
even
just
if it
went
is
to
quite
South
big.
Dakota. They're never little. Rhinos are always big,
Yeah.
but their spirits are
They're
little.
little to you.
Maddie and I just went to South Dakota, and there's like a ton of fossils of these like weird old rhinos, like from 10,000 years ago, that have just the dinkiest little
Right. Yeah.
noses.
Oh, nice.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
It makes
No,
me
those
laugh.
are sick. What do you mean?
I pulled
dinky
that
little
up
quick.
noses? It's like the size of your body.
His
Kezia.
little mouth.
It just looks stupid though. It just makes it look so stupid. It makes me
funny.
laugh. Like, why do you look like that? What is beneficial to adapt that way?
So
You're
you
like,
can
"Ooh,
snag
my nose,
stuff with it."
My nose looks like this.
Mm-hmm. Like
But
a
yeah, that's the
truffle.
thing. Like, I
You're
can't
right.
help but think, like, as cool as a lot of these designs are, I think, like, because this movie's kind of a firm sci-fi, you know? Like, it's a little, like, they're like, oh, there's floating rocks, tell
Very
you why,
science,
but it's
very
like,
fiction.
whatever. And, there's all these animals, but, like, I
Those
do kind of
seeds.
think if you're designing an alien that's supposed to, like, inhabit, like, a sci-fi world, I want to be able to, like, see, like, what the benefits are of whatever thing, right? Like, oh, this horse has 6 legs instead of 4. I want to, like, why? Like, there's a reason that animals have 4 legs.
Run so fast.
Because that's
it's a rough
as
terrain.
Need. I suppose, but it's like there's rough terrains on Earth. Like never has evolution been like mammals.
That's
could
not, how,
use
not the
some
trees,
extra
though.
legs.
That's not how skeletons work, Jackson. You just have a base skeleton that most mammals have, so I'm assuming it's the same on Pandora. So,
but they're bigger. But did you see that lizard? I was thinking that same thing when you see that lizard that spins, and it's like
lizard.
The Da Vinci lizard. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
what?
Those guys are
How
great.
helpful is that?
They're like,
but I liked it.
I gotta get out of here.
Oh, something's coming. I'm gonna spin so slow. And he has no control. Like his body's just straight. That lizard makes me mad.
It's not like a little pod or anything. It's like a lizard with like a head and a neck and a body. It's like swirling around.
It's so, just
Dylan seems to be postulating
that there's no rhyme.
Dylan seems to be postulating that the reason our horses don't have 6 legs is that we just haven't waited long enough, which maybe is true. I guess I don't know. Maybe someday.
No.
We can check back in a couple of years.
I wish that's how that worked.
Like maybe next year we can do Avatar again. We'll check in. See
Did
if
you
horses
know
have 6
though?
legs yet.
We're like, we were so wrong.
Like, that's on us.
Horses actually only walk on like. I'm trying to tell my horse facts. Horses only walk on like 1 toe.
Right. Yeah.
Like because the way that their like tarsal bones have spread out, they're pretty much just walking around on a toe.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like
that's crazy.
Vertebrates all have like 98% the same skeleton. So if you've got an animal with a leg that has more than 1 joint in it, one of those joints is either a wrist or a finger. Like that's just the way it works. It's the way it's got to be.
Me when I got an ant more than a leg.
Say again.
It's just that was just funny to me. This made me laugh.
Okay. Sometimes legs or fingers. That's just the way it goes. So okay, let me just acknowledge something happening in the chat right now. Somebody we don't recognize, a new listener, which we're happy to see. Somebody named Zachariah Zane Zelder has asked us, want to know a nickname for the element of the truth. And is this a D's nuts thing? I'm trying to navigate those waters. Because somebody else in the chat said, yeah, I
fell for a D's nut joke recently.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the TikTok?
Yeah.
Where one person's
Let's
like,
hear it.
did you hear what happened to Mark? And someone's like, Mark D's nuts. D's nuts marked on Mark this dick. And like trying to figure it out. They're just like, their friend named Mark is hurt. I just think it's very funny.
That is funny.
But yeah, it
That's
seems
like what it feels like to work with junior hires, where you're like, like what are you gonna say? Oh, you're just asking me a question.
Do you have any good ones being a middle school pedagogue, Kezia? Like beyond like the basic like CDs, Candace, hang on to.
Mm-hmm. No, that's right now we got a batch of kids that are just like tender and like sweet.
Oh man.
So they're I know. I told you they made up powdered drink nicknames.
Right, yeah.
So they're not really I need to encourage that in them more, I guess.
My favorite one
He's
is
nuts. But
my favorite one is SawCon. Because you act like you're talking about like a convention. You're like, are you guys going to SawCon this year? And they'll be like, what's that? You'll be like, SawCon these nuts. And you're like, yeah, I got it. That's my favorite.
That's good.
What are your
that
guys'
is a good
favorites?
one.
my friend Darby works at Starbucks, and I was at Starbucks with my friends, and they went, "Can we get the DN drink?" And I went, "What's the DN drink?" And they said, "These nuts." And I got so upset.
Yeah,
just got back from South Dakota. I was very. I know what I felt.
That sucks. Like.
Yeah. Also, yeah.
This just put some effort into it. Make it a play on words.
Could be so much better. Yeah, you're like, have you know DN? And they're like, DN? DNA? Science. It's all about science.
DNA does stand for D's
welcome to
nuts.
Science class.
A lot.
D's nuts, acid.
Acid?
D's nuts a lot is better. D's nuts a lot.
A lot?
It makes sense.
Very D's nuts.
I think Zoe Saldana's pretty good at this movie.
Zoe Saldana is really good in this movie.
She's always good. And
like, I think that it's weird how much like the mocap stuff gets better the further the movie goes along. I know like logically in my head it's like they don't make movies in chronological order. It feels like they're getting better at it as they go, but obviously that's literally not the case. And like the only thing I can imagine is that like they know that they have a finite amount of resources to devote to this. So like they figure like they put more of those resources in the back half so they like leave you feeling good. Like you won't stand up and leave if it doesn't look that great in the first part, but they want to make sure when you leave the theater you're thinking about the stuff that looks like really, really good. So, I mean, that's just as much as I can tell.
Yeah. That final battle scene
looks great.
Like, oh, it's so good. And like when the tree explodes, home tree.
The home tree.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's home tree. That's what it's called. Maddie's microphone is messed up. Sorry.
Yeah, are you guys texting
Maddie,
each other? Is that what's happening?
Am I able to be heard?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I can't hear that anything. All I hear is squeaking.
Okay, so
like every word is.
Okay, I'm gonna text you instructions. Hit
Okay.
the carrot on
Do you want to?
So funny.
Do you want to take a break and work
Should
it
I
out?
just
Do you
go
want to
over
go back
carrot?
to the sizzle screen?
What's the sizzle screen?
I like the screen that plays before we start the stream.
Listen.
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
gonna- Did you fix it? We good.
Yes.
Okay, we're good. So hey, here's the next thing I
I
want
wanna
to talk about. You want to know who has the most depressing acting career in history? Is Sam Worthington. Because
Sam Worthington.
here's this guy's filmography, right? Like he works his way up for a while. He's in a bunch of like, you know, like direct-to-video action movies and stuff. Like the way that you do, like he's working his way up. And then in one calendar year, he is the lead in Terminator Salvation, Clash of the Titans, and then he caps it off with the highest grossing film of all time. He's the lead of Avatar, right? And you're like, this guy's it. Like, this is the guy now, right? I'm gonna list the titles.
And Chris Pratt.
I'm gonna list the titles of every single movie that he's been in since Avatar. And there are two you might recognize. If there is even one besides that you recognize, I'll be very impressed. Okay? Love and Distrust.
The one with Man on a Ledge?
Yeah. I mean, okay, look. I'll say the two. The Shack and Hacksaw Ridge. He's in both of those. Which is like, okay, like, those are movies I've heard of.
And Man on a Ledge.
What's Man on a Ledge?
Yeah, explain what Man on a Ledge is.
I don't know. I just saw the
Oh, is it the
trailer.
one about the Twin Towers?
No.
No, that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I don't remember what that movie was called, but it's based on a
sorry,
documentary called Man on a Wire. I don't know what this Robert
Also,
Zemeckis one's called.
that was Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Robert Zemeckis, so you should know.
Oh, yeah.
Here are the movies. Here are his credits.
So
Okay.
true.
Love and Distrust. The Debt. Last Night. Texas Killing Fields. Man on a Ledge. Drift. Sabotage.
That's the one. Man on a Ledge.
Paper Planes. Cake. The Keeping Room. Kidnapping Mr. Heineken.
Fake. That movie.
Deadline Gallipoli. Everest. And then he gets a little second wind. Hacksaw Ridge. The Shack. And then we're right back down. A Hunter's Prayer. Fractured. The Titan. Lansky. And then next is Avatar 2.
Well, perhaps may I? Well, perhaps he's very busy with Avatar 2, so he doesn't have time to be in anything good.
He has been this whole time.
Other than Hacksaw Ridge.
Yeah. And it's
well,
just like...
okay. So Cake that's the one with Jennifer Aniston, where she has like PTSD or something. That was pretty good.
Okay.
And
I have no knowledge
Man on
of
a
this
Ledge,
movie.
I never saw it, but I saw the trailer, and he like throws money. He's standing on a ledge of his building. He's like, jump! I'm gonna jump off this or something like that. But then he doesn't. I think I didn't see the movie.
He's tricking people.
Oh, so it's like Now You See Me.
I don't know. I didn't see the movie.
Oh, so it could be like Now You See Me.
It could be.
It could be like Now You See Me, maybe.
As far as we know, it's
talk
probably
about
great.
On the podcast if you want to.
Yeah.
Just like Now You See Me.
Not.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, how brutal must that be as an actor to literally be the lead of the most well-performing movie of all time, and then just be completely forgotten about, like overnight. It seems like it's so wild. Maybe he'll get a second win from Avatar 2. Maybe he'll be in Avatar 2.
Maybe he's a
getting
father.
Work. He doesn't seem to be a father. He's in a bunch of movies.
Maybe he just wanted to not do anything good.
They're all bad.
Maybe his heart's not in it anymore.
Maybe.
I was gonna say it like might be one of those things where, you know, sometimes they're like, I don't really want to do like blockbusters anymore. Like I want to do smaller films,
Right.
but it also doesn't really feel like that because that's a lot of blockbusters.
These aren't like small personal projects. These are like direct to Redbox, like dad action movies, you know, like these are movies with like Bruce Willis.
He is
and
a dad.
Hopkins,
I just looked it up.
You know. Well, he is a dad, so maybe that's it.
Should have been big.
He had kids in 2015 and 2016.
So it's not even really an excuse. Like that's way after.
He was planning it.
He was planning it.
He was planning it for a while.
He was preparing his life.
And look, here's the thing.
It's a lot.
He had to save up.
Right. And here's the thing. Maybe he's great in all those movies. It could be that he's very good. I don't fucking know, though, because none of these movies exist. They're not real. Like, these are like PSYOP movies.
I feel like Sam Worthington in Avatar form, I think is a more compelling actor than in human form.
Right.
I think so too.
I think that's fair.
Like the part when he's like fighting with that knife and the general, oh my gosh, my dog just sneezes. When the general's like, he's like, how's it feel to turn against your own species? And he just goes, like,
yeah, that's good stuff. I like their hissing.
In real life,
it's pretty good.
I was like, yeah.
It's
but
good.
then if he did that, whenever he's a human, I'm like, this isn't that good. Like, he's not a very good actor.
I like that the Na'vi...
No, I kind of forgot it was him.
Right, yeah. I like that the Na'vi are tall. I think that's a good creative decision. It's so cool that they're tall.
Big.
Like, they could have just made them normal size, but they're like, no, they're gonna be like, not like huge, but like 9 feet tall. You know? Like, I just think that's good. It's a fun decision.
Well, when he's in that bed, those humans look so teeny tiny.
Yeah.
When she comes and saves him, gets that mask on his face, and he's like, I see you. And she's like, her hands like next to his face like this.
Like, using your perspective.
He's little.
He's a short king.
How would that space sex or like ponytail sex probably wouldn't be that good.
Yeah. Too small. Too little.
He also doesn't even have the ponytail.
It's too far away.
And he doesn't even they can't even ponytail.
Yeah.
That's also, as like a human being, would that be just like a complete, like what would that experience be like?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like the Gelfling. Jackson, you still wouldn't know about this.
Okay.
But Gelfling, when they hold hands, they can share memories sometimes.
What's Gelfling?
And they're like, it's from the Dark Crystal.
Oh, the Dark Crystal.
Crystal.
Okay. I still haven't seen Dark Crystal.
It's always from the Dark Crystal.
What's Gelfling? Like me not contextualizing myself even.
Gelfling. That's what the Gelflings say.
One of my friends.
No, that's what the
Skeksis say. I know.
Right. One of my friends, when we were just hanging out one time, was just riffing and came up with this game that he wanted to make called Short Kingdom, where it's like you have to like control your army and like make alliances with other short kings. And I just think about it like all the time. I think it's so funny. Like the title Short Kingdom is great. I like it very much.
I think there's a market there.
It would be like an RTS game called
I would
Short
buy
Kingdom.
I think that could work.
Are they like examples of short kings like from our world, or is it just like it's Danny DeVito up in there?
Maybe. Or it could just be fictional
Danny DeVito a short
kings.
king?
Danny DeVito's absolutely a short king. How could he be anything but a short king? He's like 4'9".
I know. I just wanted to check. I know, but like, not everyone is kings. Not everyone who's short is king.
Yeah,
he's like the short king.
Right.
Okay. What about Leslie Jordan though?
I think
I don't know.
Most people that like if they're like a celebrity and you know that they're short, I think that in and of itself is like short king material.
They are king.
Right? Like short king
Leslie
Danny
Jordan
DeVito,
is basically just Danny DeVito.
Like Leslie Jordan, Tom Cruise, famously short, Robert Downey Jr. Like these would all be in Short Kingdom.
Oh yeah. I'm so sorry. There's this kid in my youth group who we've been playing Foursquare a bunch this week, and we're like no downies because that sucks, and he will just always do it. So I've been calling him Robert Downey Jr. all week, and then it caught on. So like they're all calling him Robert Downey Jr. now.
That's so funny.
But that's what you get because
couldn't stop doing Downies.
Trying no Downies, bro. And he would just go.
Some people
like,
some people get hooked on uppers.
Robert.
He's hooked on Downies.
He's hooked on Downey.
Exactly.
It's sad, really.
That's sad. Avatar. The thing about it is, I will never not be sort of astonished and confused that this held the title of highest grossing movie for so long and continues to even now. Like there are some movies where it's like I can get like my biggest thing was always like, how was Force Awakens not the highest grossing movie of all time? And I did some research and it turns out that Star Wars movies don't do super well
because of girls
in Asia.
Girls.
For girls. But like the thing about it is like Marvel movies do very well
because nobody likes
Asia.
girls.
Yeah, probably that's why.
Asians.
But that's just like a real phenomenon. Like in China, in Japan, in Taiwan, which are like these big markets. Yeah. Like they just don't care about Star Wars very much, but they care a lot about Jason Bourne. Apparently, that's like the reason why they keep making Jason Bourne movies is because those things go fucking gangbusters in China. But
the market.
The market.
Wow, that's so strange.
But
this is probably the first movie in. Oh wait, no, you go.
No, go ahead. I mean,
I was just gonna say, it's like this is like the first movie in human history that's like people saw it because of. This is not the first movie, but like a huge movie like this where people saw it because of the special effects and not because of the story. Like they're like, it's crazy how real this looks, and it's like all motion capture. It looks great, but which is why we did this because we're on a motion capture kick. That's not true.
We always think we're going to.
But
we thought we were watching Cats.
We thought we were going to do a month of all mocap movies at one point. I don't think that ever came to pass, but maybe we still will someday.
We didn't think that, but we were like, wouldn't it be fun if we did that though? Because we all like motion. We still haven't done Beowulf.
Just hit Rango, Beowulf, Mars Needs Moms, Tintin.
Oh, I hate Rango.
Weird that Rango was the one and not Mars
unrelated.
Needs Moms that prompted that reaction from you.
I forgot about Mars Needs Moms.
We saw Mars Needs Moms in theaters because guess what era that movie came out?
And your dad wanted to see it because it's got Bobby Z above the title.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's just not very good.
I don't remember anything about that movie. Not anything.
I remember everything about, like, I'll watch a movie once and I'll remember it forever. And this movie, I'm like, there was a kid who, it's so generic. There was a kid who was mean to his mom, who was Molly Shannon. And then, oh no, the Mars needs moms because for slavery or something like that. And you're like, that's
no, because they don't have moms.
They need moms.
No,
to
it's
teach
not
them how
like,
to tie their
like
shoes
a tender
and stuff.
thing. They like, yeah, we don't have any pockets.
I never knew my mother. You know, like that.
And then they take him to Mars, and he's like, oh, dang it, I actually did kind of like my mom.
Do you guys remember the first movie you didn't like?
That is a hard question.
Because I
It
do.
might
I
have
have
been.
an answer.
Because Maddie and I are chronic rewatchers,
Right.
so it's hard to be like, this is when I watched a movie. But I think when I saw John Carter, which we saw in theaters, I was like waiting for it to get good, and it didn't for me.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of other people. And I was like, that was a waste of my time. Like, that's the first time I felt like I
Right.
wasted my time
You're like,
watching a movie.
I didn't even have fun. Like, why did I see this? I remember,
Like,
yeah, because like I feel like that's a universal experience, right? Like when you're a kid, you just like shovel anything in. You're like, that was incredible. I love that. That was a whole movie. It was like 98 minutes of just movie
You're
the
like,
whole time.
it was a movie.
Yeah. And like I remember in Vancouver, Washington during the summer, they would have like free movies that played every week. There was like probably like 1 or 2 screenings. And I remember seeing a bunch of movies like it was like free movies for kids. It was like a thing. You, like your whole family would go. And it was like movies like Everyone's Hero. Remember Everyone's Hero? Where the kid is trying to get the anthropomorphic baseball and bat back to Babe Ruth, who they belong to. Good flick. But that wasn't the one. I saw that. I was like, sick. The one.
It's like, that sounds excellent.
But the one I remember, do you guys remember Planet 51? Where Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is an astronaut.
Yes! Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
And the Planet 51, it's all aliens, and they're like, ooh, it's the 50s, basically.
It's like suburbia.
And then he's the alien.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember
that.
Being like 8 or 9 and just sitting in that theater and like looking at the ceiling, being like, I don't get this. Like, why am I not having fun at this movie?
This isn't for me.
Yeah.
This isn't fun.
I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Like, why am I not enjoying myself?
Why am I not having fun?
Yeah.
Like,
And I remember that
same
summer seeing Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer in that same summer movie program and saying that was my favorite movie of all time.
Film.
I remember being like, that was the best movie I've ever seen.
Those came out the same time?
Maybe it was a different summer. I remembered seeing them both as a free movie with my family.
No, that might be right. Here's the thing, is that I had a subscription to Nickelodeon magazine, and there would just be advertisements for movies such as, you know, Area 50 or Planet 51,
right,
and Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Rise of the Silver Surfer.
It is. I remember seeing Planet 51 in said magazine. Also, this is a petition to bring back Nickelodeon magazine. I will subscribe as an adult. It's such a good magazine.
I don't think you'd still be interested in what's in.
Yes, Maddie. No, you don't know. You didn't. Enjoy it.
I had a subscription to Highlights magazine.
You were too young.
I was too young.
Kezia,
Nickelodeon magazine.
I think in your head it would be like
articles about mummies.
I think like if Nickelodeon magazine still existed, I think it would all be like Charlie D'Amelio now. Like, I don't think you would enjoy it as much as you think you would.
Yeah.
No, I think that's why they stopped making it, because people didn't like it, because it was like, here's something you can learn about history. Here's how to draw a comic book. Like, here's how to come up with comic book characters and like character design. They had their own like comic book section, and they were like, so it was so cool, and there were different comics, and they like, it was hardly ever about, it was like, here's a recipe for a SpongeBob shaped cake. Here's what we do at the background. This is how they animate Avatar: The Last Airbender. And here's an interview by one of the voice actors. It was like stuff people didn't like kids.
Right, yeah.
They're like, where's like Miranda Cosgrove or whatever? And I was like, this is the best. It was a magazine that was made for me and not very many other people.
I get Entertainment Weekly in the mail right now. That's a fucking quality publication. Everybody should get Entertainment Weekly. Misnomer, because it does come out once a month. But it's good flick. Jason Sudeikis was on the cover this month. Good stuff. I just want to flex that I bought a magazine subscription.
Why didn't I talk about Jason Sudeikis? That's good.
But what were we saying? Highest grossing movies. Like, it's just so weird. It's so foreign in like the landscape of cinema right now, where everything is so IP driven, that like this movie that is like literally just like an original story that was like sold on just that it looks really good and the 3D is exciting, performed better than any movie in history ever has before, you know? And the only way that you can like outperform it now is with Avengers Endgame, which is like this thing that's like, it feels like a movie that's like clinically crafted in a laboratory to be
15 years of work
to be the highest grossing movie of all time. Like, if you put a dude in a room and we're like, your job is to create what will be the highest grossing movie of all time, what do you do to achieve that? He's like, this is the only thing I can think of. You got to put in like 15 years worth of work in order to do it. Like, people have to be so excited about this movie.
Yeah.
Without ever having seen it, without having any word of mouth, just at the idea of it, you have to be foaming at the mouth, you know? That's like the only way it could ever outperform.
And also the movie that came out right before that was like the biggest cliffhanger of any movie, to say literally half the universe is dead.
Right.
And how are they gonna fix it? You're like, I guess I gotta go see the next one, right? Like,
right.
And this movie, like, it's not iconic.
No, it
like,
totally
nothing,
isn't.
You can't, like, anyone can say, like, I'm the king of the world, and you're gonna know that's from Titanic.
Right.
Or like, I'm flying. Like, everyone does the Titanic pose.
Yeah.
But this movie, what's quotable?
There's no quotes. There's no lines.
Jake
Sully.
Jake Sully.
You're like, also
like a baby, don't know what to do. I actually, going through this movie, I realized I quote this movie at least twice a week.
Also, this is sad. Very sad only.
Very sad only.
That's good. That's fun. Very sad only. No, and like, it's like there was some video I was watching a little while ago where it was like stopping people on the streets of New York and being like, who is the main character in Avatar? And like, absolutely nobody.
Yeah, Jack's Films, right? Or
oh, was it?
Like
was it? I don't know.
Or they said,
it was like ages ago. I don't remember.
It was. I saw a version of this. They were like, "Hey, name 3 characters from Avatar," and people couldn't do it.
Right.
I could do it.
Yeah, I bet you could.
I've done it already in this movie.
And like,
I could have done it a year ago. I could have done it 6 years ago.
My favorite fun fact about this movie is that it is believed to be the most expensive movie ever made, but that's only based on the fact that they did not publicly release any financials about it, because we just assume they're embarrassed about it. They're like, we spent too much money on this movie. Like, we spend more money than we should have on this movie. It's probably for the best if we just kept it to ourselves. Like, and so, like, I don't know for sure. Like, on the books, Avengers Endgame is the most expensive movie of all time, but they told us that. They were like, yeah, we spent like $500 million on Avengers Endgame. And Avatar was like, you guys don't even want to know how much we spent on this thing. Like, it's not
You don't
good.
even want to know.
Yeah.
It's very sad only.
Very sad only. Want to know what's wild? You want to know
made
what,
it back, though.
Like, the next 2, like, most expensive movies on the books are? I mean, it's, like, Endgame and Infinity War. And then it's Pirates of the Caribbean 4 and John Carter. John Carter was like an insanely expensive movie.
All comes back.
Pixar director Andrew Stanton directing, at the time, the most expensive movie of all time. John Carter.
It was so boring.
Yeah, everyone hates it.
I
Nobody
can't
likes
believe
it.
that. You're kidding.
Yeah, it is insanely expensive.
That's wild.
That movie cost like $350 million.
I believe that. Like, it's like, it looks good. Like, if it's basically the same set pieces as like the second Star Wars episode, like Attack of the Clones, right. If you think through it. So, yeah, but it's so boring, and it doesn't make sense, and who cares?
I feel like John Carter
I care about Avatar, though.
I feel like John Carter's kind of trying to ride the Avatar wave a little bit. Like, it's very much like a dude on a planet trying to figure out how to navigate it, and there's, like, action scenes, and he wears a loincloth. You know, like... And,
like, what's the Jupiter Ascending?
Jupiter Ascending.
Number one movie.
The Wachowskis, Jupiter
I have
Ascending.
also not seen it.
That one does feel like Avatar-ish, because it's like, secret girl, didn't know she was the queen of Jupiter or whatever, and it's so really not that good.
But Eddie Redmayne does that silly little voice.
It's not because of Eddie Redmayne's silly little voice. It's not like Voldemort, but it kind of is, where he's like,
it's like,
what happened to Channing Tatum?
He won an award for that silly little voice. He got a divorce.
Channing Tatum got a divorce. I just feel like there was a hot second when Channing Tatum was like the biggest movie star in the world and was in like 3 action movies every year. And now like he just like pops up like every once in a while. Like, I don't know. What's his deal?
The Lego
Magic
movie?
Mike money.
Magic Mike money, I guess.
Honestly, it's just if you don't have to work, if I made one successful movie and they're like, here's $10 million, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, no,
well,
I was reading something.
But...
I was reading something about Taylor Lautner the other day, because that's another guy who like became a household name and then just kind of disappeared. And like everybody was like, oh, like, you know, he's a native guy. Like, was it hard for him to get work? Was he like shut out? Did something happen to him? Like, what's going on? And then somebody tracked him down for an interview and he was just like, no, I just kind of got more money than I ever could need, and I'd just rather not. Like, maybe someday I'll get back into it, but for now, I'm just good. And you're like, okay, great. Like, great for you, Taylor. Like, get it.
I'm set.
Channing Tatum did a Smallfoot. We forgot.
Smallfoot.
Oh, 2018.
Amazing film.
So,
yes.
Yes,
Zendaya dating Tom Holland. The news broke today on Twitter.
Oh my god, incredible!
You know, we all knew.
They always do that. Every Spider-Man, they always date the girl. They should stop.
They
it never
always
works
do
out.
it.
And it hasn't worked out so far.
No.
But you know, they all end up happy in other happy relationships.
I don't think that's true because Tom Holland is kind of a famous dickhead, and I don't think he's a very happy person. Or not Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, but like...
I was gonna say, I was about to freak out.
You're like that sweet beloved 20.
The rage was like, I was like, what?
I meant to say Tobey Maguire, my apologies.
I guess I'm mostly thinking about
oh my god, yeah. Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone.
I see you, Emma Stone. I raise you, Massimo.
Where did you get that?
I got it at McDonald's.
Maddie if you're listening, Maddie just held up like Luca, the dad from Luca, a toy.
But he also flips.
Is he like a swimmer? Yeah, he swims in the bath. That's
probably gotta be.
He can swim.
That's gotta be the worst toy.
He does flips. No, I asked for this one.
Every kid.
I asked for Massimo.
Did they have Luca? Or like
they had Massimo. I have Massimo and the cat. The cat is, I think, in my car. I bought both of these.
Luca?
I'm flashing
They might have, but I asked for Massimo.
I'm flashing back to our Luca episode when I did forget Luca's name. Where I was like, Jacob Tremblay, what's his name? And they're like, Luca?
Like,
I was like,
whoever,
yeah.
whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Like the titular character.
I remembered Jacob Tremblay before I remembered Luca.
I love Jacob Tremblay. He's
Jacob
so
Tremblay's
good in
great.
Wonder.
Jacob Tremblay is like,
He's just so tender and
he's just
sweet.
killing it. Remember when he got brutally murdered in Dr. Sleep? That was awesome.
Yeah. I didn't like it because I love Jacob Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay's great. He kills it
He's
every
just
time.
walking home from baseball.
He's gonna he's gotta get like a fucking Marvel role sometime. Like, when are we gonna like reveal like Jacob Tremblay is Nova? Like when's he gonna really break out?
How old is he?
Currently, well, he was born in 2006, so I guess he's like 15.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Because
what if he's Haley Joel Osment? Not like,
I hope
not
he
that
doesn't.
Haley Joel. He still got. You know what movie Haley Joel Osment was in?
what's that?
Surprisingly
Tusk.
evil, very. I hate you.
Wait, I didn't hear what either of you guys said.
Haley Joel Osment
Haley Joel Osment is the best friend in Tusk.
I'm gonna
Tusk?
tell you right now, do not let Kezia talk about the movie Tusk.
Oh,
I'm
Tusk.
gonna say
Okay,
right
okay,
now.
okay. Because yeah, Haley Joel
Tusk.
Osment is just in like weird indie comedies now.
And he's in the one about Ted Bundy with Zac Efron.
Oh, right. I don't think it's called
And
What About
Tusk.
Ted Bundy.
And Tusk. He's in
What
What
about
About
Ted
Ted
Won't
Bundy.
anybody think of Ted
In
Bundy?
defense of Ted Bundy.
No one has Ted Bundy on the brain at all. And Tusk.
Although that movie does have
I
maybe
think we
the
should do Tusk.
worst title of all time. I need to look it up because I can't even remember what it is.
Tusk? Surprisingly, I've seen that movie
It's
like
called-
6 times. I don't know what it's called.
It's called Extremely
Tusk.
Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. I literally, if you put a gun up to my head, I couldn't come up with a
I
worse
did not
movie
know
title
that.
than that.
There's also like what's that one where it's Tom Hanks and he dies in 9/11 and his son, it's like incredibly close, super loud,
Oh, Extremely
really
Loud and
silent,
Incredibly
or something like
Close.
that. Is similar,
Yeah,
like where
yeah.
you're like, that's too many
Extremely
words.
loud, incredibly close, shockingly vile, and very
Shockingly
wicked Ted
violent.
Bundy.
Very wicked of Ted
Tusk.
Bundy.
Tusk.
Tusk.
So bad.
No one thinks of Ted Bundy these days.
Did you know that
It's
Ted
shockingly
Bundy...
close and
forgotten.
incredibly violent.
Ted Bundy murdered a girl from Central Washington University. I learned that while I was there. Just a fun fact. I mean, not a fun fact.
Well, that is a
fact.
Go
it's a
dogs.
fact, and that's hey. That's not Central. They're not dogs.
I know, but he went
like-
to UW.
Oh yeah.
So I said go dogs.
Central Washington University is the
Yay, Washington.
Wildcats?
They're the Cougars?
They're not the Cougars.
They're Wildcats.
Yeah, they are
Okay.
Wildcats. Yeah.
They're-
I was
it's a
second guessing
cat,
myself,
a big
but
cat.
Yeah, Wildcats.
I only ever went to
They're
one.
definitely Wildcats.
I went to one football game, and I don't think I was trying to. Oh, that was the time when you know what? I'm realizing this story is not interesting, so I'm just gonna move on and let it be. I was about to start telling a story about what
The
happened
one
at
time
that
I went to a
football
football
game,
game.
and I
I
realized
went to a
that
football game.
nothing happened. I was about to say, like, I remember I got Taco Bell beforehand, and I ate the Taco Bell at the football game, but it got kind of cold, like just being out in the air, so it wasn't super pleasant. Like, you know,
Hey.
like like cool Taco Bell. That was the story I was about to tell
That's
for
your
all the world.
experience.
That's valid.
we want to hear
That's a
about it
valid
because
story.
We care about you and your experiences. Do you think they have like sports? Like they gotta have sports in like the Navi. Like there's like gotta
Yeah.
be something recreational.
I'm sure that'll
It doesn't seem like
explored.
it. It doesn't seem
Dance.
like they have fun.
Sing. They dance and sing. They hunt and drink
They
and
do this
have
move.
hair. Yeah, that.
they
Yeah, where they
sway.
all. And they were all singing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
glow.
but it's like spiritual. It's not like for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, well, think about the Puritans. What did they do?
Exactly. Like, where are they in history? Do they have written language? I need to know.
Puritans?
More. James Cameron. Yes, the Puritans. Did they have written language?
Where were they?
Although I think that might have been.
About the Na'vi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
I know the Puritans had written language.
I think that there is fertile ground to just like, flesh out like their culture, like what they do on a day-to-day basis. And that's why we need 4 more of them, baby. That's why these next 4 movies are going to be so great. They're going to be really good, I think.
Yeah, like The Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, you guys.
Avatar 1.5.
Avatar 0.5.
0.5.
Yeah, 0.5.
Also, they gotta work in the like backstory of the Disney World park.
Right. Tales of Pandora or whatever.
I want to go to that still.
I still want to.
Yeah, I'm sure it's cool.
I still kind of like Avatar.
I enjoyed my watch.
Yeah, of course. I'm not trying to talk you guys out of liking Avatar. Because it's pretty good. Like, it's a pretty good movie. Like, it totally works. It's just like, I don't know. Like, watching it now for the first time in 2021, I watch it and I'm like, that totally held my attention. Like, it's pretty long and it holds my attention the whole time.
Serviceable.
And, like, I thought it was pretty good. It was a little heavy-handed about, like, what it was trying to say, and the special effects can get a little iffy sometimes, but other than that, like, totally works. Like, totally got me. Like, yeah, thumbs up. Yeah. Exactly 1 thumb up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like, did you know that we should not be using every single resource on our planet or we'll die?
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, and it is sort of like,
yes,
it is like a lot more explicit about its like themes than like most other blockbuster movies are, which is one of those things that's just like a little bit refreshing. Like, it kind of wears its heart on its sleeve about like exactly what it's saying in a way that movies try to like play coy about a little too often, I feel like. So you're like, I appreciate that you like
Luca
know what you have to say. What? Why did you do that just then?
Are you saying that? Are you saying Luke? Maddie just watched
I watched it today.
Okay.
Right before I watched Avatar, and I want the Disney executives to explain to me how it's not gay, because they have said it's not. Like, no.
I think you should listen to our podcast.
Yeah, we talk a lot about it on the podcast.
I will.
We have a nuanced perspective about it.
My whole thing.
No, it's not Pride Month.
Maddie and I also we haven't gotten to talk about that yet because we're talking about this right now.
Right.
I think it's just meant to be a love story and it's not necessarily romantic. It's not, but they never like it can't be gay. It's just that like at that
they said it's not gay. They said it.
But it's up
recently.
to interpretation. I don't think it matters. It
they
could be, it could not be.
They didn't say it's not gay. They said the story's not a romance. Like, they're like, that's not what it's about, which is not the same thing.
Yeah. I heard that they said it wasn't gay.
What they said, I mean, like, exactly what the statement was. I mean, we're just rehashing stuff we talked about exactly 1 week ago on the podcast, but, like, it's just like, it is... Because what he says is, like, I don't want this story to be a romance. I don't want it to be about, like, romantic love. I want it to be about these relationships they forge with each other. And what we talked about on the podcast was, like, these kids code and read as, like, these gay kids, but you don't necessarily want them to fall in love. Like, I don't think that, like, these 2 kids have, like, a romantic relationship, but they do still... like code as queer and feel queer, and like that like informs the way you look at it.
They love each other.
They love each other. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, so listen to the podcast from last week if you want to hear us talk more about queerness in like, Luca.
All right.
But today we're talking about they need what they need. Here's what I think they need for the sequels for Avatar to live on. Okay. They need to touch on the LGBTQ plus community because that doesn't show up at all. Maybe Norm.
Where were they?
Also, what's
maybe Norm?
Norm and Max stay on the planet,
right?
But they don't. I don't think Max even has an Avatar body.
No.
So like, is he just gonna hang out by himself forever? So maybe they fall in love. Only humans left. But also, humans are coming back in a big way. or something like that.
It comes out the day after my birthday. It comes out the day after my 21st birthday.
In December, Jesus.
Oh, I don't
Except
know.
here's the thing.
On my birthday.
Here's the
My
thing
21st.
is that, like, the release date they have set right now, there is precisely a 0% chance it will come out on that day. Like, there's not a chance in hell it will come out on that day.
Maybe earlier.
And,
Maybe
like,
it'll come out earlier.
this is my, it's on the record. Like, if it comes out on December 21st, 2022, I will, like, I don't know, what should I do? Because I feel confident that it will not. I will eat a whole hat.
Will you let me? I was gonna say, will you let me dye your hair?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Write it down.
Listen, I've won 2 bets so far, and I've dyed people's hair, and it never turns out well. So.
But I'm looking
I-
around.
I'm excited for the sequel still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like, I don't
will
think
be
it's gonna
seeing it.
like turn out badly. I just think like, I feel like Disney thinks this is gonna be like their new thing, and I just don't think it's going to be. I think it's gonna come out. It's going to have been very expensive.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be like a solid hit. Like, I think like people will see it, and I think it'll make like $150 million. And then like life will go on. Like, that's what I think is gonna happen.
Back the butt.
Or I just meant like domestic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is there another franchise that like has a huge gap in between the first and second movie like this? Like, I'm trying to think.
I mean, it
of
happens all the
another.
time now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, between the first and second, I guess, I don't know. I guess it's a little bit weirder for them to make a sequel to a standalone movie this much later. And like, the weird thing is that it feels like they've been cooking up. Borat's a great example. That turned out pretty good. So based on that data set, Avatar 2 will probably be like a little bit better than Avatar 1.
But also, Borat also was like a response. Like, there was a reason. He was like, it feels like I should make another Borat movie, and they were like, maybe I'll make another Avatar.
Which is the
But
thing.
they immediately started making another Avatar.
Yeah.
It was just 12 years ago.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's what I was saying. Like, if they've been cooking up Avatar 2 for literally 12 years. Like, it's not like they weren't working on it and they're just getting around to it. They were, like, trying actively to make this happen for so long. And, like, they started shooting, like, a year and a half ago.
Was the president.
Yeah, like, literally. Like, and the script they're shooting with, by the time this movie comes out, it's going to be, like, 4.5 years old. It's going to have been written in a different presidential administration. It's just, like, I don't know how this is going to turn out.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
It's
I realized that I've been alive longer after Avatar came out than before.
Right,
I've been, which is like most of my life has been while they've been working on Avatar 2.
Yeah, fervently waiting for Avatar 2.
If Avatar 2 was
waiting
a
long
person,
time.
If Avatar 2 was a human, they'd be in like 7th grade by now.
Yeah, they'd be going to middle school.
Yeah.
I have a story to tell about, because I was leading a mission trip like a couple of years ago, and this kid, as a joke, I was like, Logan, if you want to be cool, you need to watch Avatar, because Avatar is lit. And then like a couple weeks later, I saw him again, because like, it's summer,
Right.
and he was like, Avatar was good. I was like, okay, you watched it.
Right.
You're the same age as Avatar, and you watched it. That's awesome.
It lives on.
It will not die out. She will not be in vain.
She will not be forgotten.
Oh, I think that, okay, so here's my thing. Like, I remember there being a lot of discourse about, like, the nudity of the Na'vi at the time, and, like, Zoe Saldana's character just, like, being, like, mostly naked the whole time. And I think that ultimately, I think it works just because, like, physically, they're pretty far removed from any, like, human beauty standard, really, in the sense that it doesn't feel super sexualized,
they have like weird,
you know?
weird shaped hips.
Yeah. But the thing that does distract me is that the women just have like jewelry like artfully draped across their nipples 100% of the time. And you're like, this is insanely distracting.
Like, you never see a nipple.
Right. Or
never see a nipple.
And it's like, I don't know if I'm supposed to believe that they like don't have nipples, which would be fine, or if they do have nipples that are just happening to be covered up by their jewelry all the time. It sucks. I don't like that part of it at all.
Yeah. Like, it's just like very daintily, like it's draped across like this.
Yeah.
At an angle, and you're like, I guess.
And never, which is weird because if you notice, I noticed when they were in like the garden at the beginning of the movie that, so all of the human avatar clothes have holes for the tail, and they like digitally added shading where like your butt would be. So they put the detail in of the cloth moving around the tail, around the butt.
Right.
But never a nipple is seen.
Never a nipple. Because like
maybe they don't have nipples.
It's that's
do the
thing.
males have nipples?
Oh, I don't know. Because it's one of those things where it's like, I don't
breastfeed. They're not mammals.
Right. Like, I didn't feel, like, sincerely, like, as a man with, like, a male gaze, like, I didn't feel like it was ever, like, sexualized or like I was, like, sexually attracted to any of the Na'vi, like, being, like, nude. But I just resented the fact that I was, like, looking at their tits all the time because I was trying to figure out if they had nipples or not. Like, I was, like, watching, like, all the time.
Where the nipple is.
Just trying to see, like, do they have, like, nipples that are just being, like, SpongeBob SquarePants style, like, artfully censored? Or, like, do they just not? Because, like, it's so distracting.
Yeah. The men do have nipples. I looked it up.
They do have nipples.
So that's worse.
They do have nipples.
If it were me, if I were James Cameron, I would be like, they don't have nipples, and that's just that. Like, they kind of have the shape of a breast.
Get over it.
To just, like, make them feel human. Like, no nipples, and it's fine. That's what I would do. I think that would be 1,000 times less distracting.
You're like
that's what I would have done.
It's alien.
But also the men are so snatched. The men, when they have those belts on, I was like... And this was not on Drag Race season 13. They were like,
oh right, yeah,
like they were snatched. I had to pause it. I was like, do they have? Like, it was insane.
I was gonna ask, do you think that like the avatars, like Jake, do you think he can like reproduce? Like, can
maybe that's what Avatar 2 is about?
I don't know.
Maybe it's about adoption and having a blended family.
Maybe. That's why he's been having kids. He's been studying.
That's all I can think about when I watch like Superman. I'm like, they're like, Lois Lane, she's pregnant, she had a baby. I'm like, but how can they reproduce? I guess they can.
I mean, evidently they can.
Can their kids reproduce? Because scientifically, we know. Oh my gosh, I just hit my chair. It fell. It's fine. But I just feel like their kids for sure wouldn't be able to reproduce just scientifically. If we're going to talk about science. So did they design the avatars to be able to reproduce? And why would they do that?
There's a baby. Did you see the baby? The baby, when their tree falls down, there's a baby avatar and an old man avatar who they're helping out.
I'm asking if the Na'vi can...
No, the Na'vi. I'm saying there was a Na'vi baby and an old man Na'vi. Yeah. You see them during the...
Yeah, the Na'vi can reproduce. Of course they can. I'm asking.
No, but I'm just saying, did you see the baby? Because it had a floppy little tail.
I don't think I did.
I saw the baby for the first time this viewing, and the old man.
I gotta keep my eye out next viewing.
For Selena.
Okay, here's my thing. On this podcast, I don't remember, I think it was Adeline who started saying this first, but like, we talk a lot about how like our least favorite thing in movies is the like babe wait scene, where the dude is like running some kind of deception the whole time, but then like comes to fall in love with the girl for real. But then the girl finds out, and he has to be like, well, wait, it's not like that, but it was like that at first, but not anymore. Now I really do care about you. And like, babe, wait.
It was.
I hate about you.
Like, this movie has that scene like twice. Like, they fully like have 2 different babe wait scenes in it. And like, I just think like it's the kind of thing I think.
And both of them end up with destroyed trees.
Exactly. There are 2 different times where trees are being destroyed, and he's like, babe,
deception.
wait.
Yeah, it's true. And it's also like, it's a really big babe wait, because it's like, I lied to you about my intentions, and also now your whole home that generation after generation of your people have been living in has been destroyed.
Right.
And it also has sacred meaning to you, and also your dad died as a consequence.
Right. But like, babe, wait.
Ultimate babe
I tried to
wait.
warn you. I tried.
And she was betrothed to Sute, who again,
Rest in peace.
Sute. Rest in peace, pour one out. Your spirit goes with eyhwa, your body stays behind.
See? A quote.
It doesn't count though, because I know
don't
it.
know that. No.
Yeah, but it's quotable. It's quotable.
People don't know that. They don't know
People
it.
sometimes notice when I say Jake Sully. They go, oh yes, from Avatar.
The Jarhead clan, of course.
Of
Now,
the Jarhead clan.
I'll admit, I'm just looking around for 1-star reviews for the end of the show. And this is just the kind of movie where everyone's like really, really angry in here. Like, these are not like chill vibe 1-star reviews. These are like, these people are fucking pissed 1-star reviews.
people have feelings.
Who are angry?
I'm gonna give my review 4.5 out of 5. I think that there's still room for growth, but it's a movie I go back to over and over again. My wish list for episode 2, season 2, if you will.
Episode 2.
Avatar 2, whatever the name is. I want to know more about what's happening on Earth. I want to find out if Jake Sully can have kids.
Right.
And I want a
Sports
better.
Sports
I want Michelle Rodriguez to come back to life, and I want a sports scene.
Apparently,
Kind of like
Sigourney Weaver is
The
going to
Fly
show up.
too.
Sigourney Weaver's still in the
Yeah.
cast, so I don't know what's
Is
up
she
with that.
eyhwa?
Eyhwa?
Maybe
Eyhwa?
it'll be like in Finding Dory when she's.
I
just
was
as
gonna
the
say-
voiceover.
Maybe it's like in Psych the Musical when Mary comes back from dead and sings a little song.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's
He
what I
doesn't
saw.
Come back from the dead. He sings from heaven
He sings from heaven. That's
to
true.
them.
That's what I meant to say.
A lot of
So
people.
she sings from eyhwa.
A lot of people in here are really mad about, like, everybody loves this movie, but I don't like it at all. And I just think they have, like, zero self-awareness of, like, what people actually feel about this movie. I don't know.
How come everybody loved it?
Like, I've never, in my
How come
entire
I'm the
life,
only one
I've
who's
never felt
boring?
like, everyone loves Avatar. Everyone can't shut up about Avatar. Like, I've never felt that in my entire life.
That feels very pointed.
It's such it is so weird because nobody ever talks about Avatar, but it is the highest rated.
Yeah, exactly.
No one
It's such
talks
a
about
funny
Avatar.
little thing.
I love Avatar. I'm a big Avatar fan. Also, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Also
People got
good.
mad about that because they're like, Avatar: The Last Airbender is so much better than Avatar. They're just different.
They're just
They're
different.
different.
things. It's
Listen,
They can have the same name.
I haven't let go of any version of Avatar.
If
Avatar,
anything,
the
okay,
blue-
here's my thing. I think that Avatar, the motion picture, deserves Avatar more than Last Airbender does. Because that makes sense. Like, in Avatar,
Yeah.
they have avatars. They're like a thing that represents themselves outside of their own body, you know? But Last Airbender, they just kind of call this thing the Avatar, because presumably they're like the avatar of like a spirit or something.
Because it's a vessel. A
Vessel of the
old
spirit.
spirits
Right.
of the other.
But I just
yeah,
think-
but it could be any other.
I think
word.
it's more
They just-
applicable
be,
for
yeah.
Avatar. I think Last Airbender should be called something else. I'm gonna put my fucking foot down.
But do you think? But do you think that it would sound as good if they said something other than previously on Avatar?
Guys, I don't think so.
On
Sounds pretty good to me.
Little Boy.
Little ice boy.
Little ice boy.
Little ice
that's
boy
what all
learns
of them are
a
called.
trade.
A
Have a
trade?
happy Avatar Day. That's all I have to say.
Is today
He's learning
Avatar?
different trades. He's learning different trades
Yeah.
Little boy learns 4 trades in 3 months.
in
A
1
boy.
year.
Beautiful.
Goes
Little
to
boy
trade school.
was allegedly dead.
Was allegedly dead. Goes to trade school. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'd buy it. I'd watch it.
I buy it and I sell it.
Okay. Any final thoughts? Do we want to wrap it up? Am I too early here, or are we ready to start to call it a day?
Maddie, do you have any?
As it is the month of July, happy Disabled Pride Month.
Is it?
That's
I thought
all.
you were gonna talk about Avatar one last time. I was like,
Well, Avatar, he's in a
Yeah, he is.
wheelchair.
He's disabled.
it's true. Yeah,
For
we didn't even
Disability
touch
Pride
that.
Month.
Which is something, like, that was one of the things that I was touching on looking at all the really angry reviews. Is like a lot of people think it's like problematic that he's not like actually like disabled, quote unquote, for most of the movie, but like, because he like gets an avatar that still has legs, but like, I don't know, I kind of think of it like if he had prosthetics. Like it doesn't like change his fundamental like identity. It's just like something that,
Metal legs.
yeah, I don't know.
Your
But I don't
real legs.
But I don't know. I'm not
Yeah, what do
disabled.
you-
I shouldn't.
And also in the future. Yeah, it's tricky.
It's tricky. It's weird.
It's un pregunta.
It's un
But in the
pregunta.
future, they have the ability to fix like spinal cord injuries. Apparently,
apparently.
so that's cool.
Wait, doesn't
They're
Pregunta
very
mean
expensive.
question?
Yeah, it's just from In the Heights, Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Es un pregunta
It's
es
a pregunta,
tricky.
it's tricky.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I know.
All right. Fine. Fine.
What about Balloony? Final thoughts?
Oh, the movie. I thought you said balloony. I was like, I'm lost.
I did
No,
say
She
Balloony.
did.
Oh, okay. All right. Fine.
The
Whatever.
character.
Okay. Do you guys want to hear a 1-star review of Avatar? Of James Cameron's Avatar?
Yes.
So this review comes from letterboxd.com. And let me just be clear that the user, usually I don't say the user, I like to keep it anonymous.
Wait, do you want me
but-
to do plug things before?
Oh, I forgot.
I'm so
it's
sorry.
weird. It's weird because we don't have all of us. Yes, do our plugs.
Yeah, I just was like before you get too far in.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
know. Okay, I will. Thank you. Also, hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting us rant about Avatar. I do want to apologize to Jackson again because when Maddie comes on, there's like unbridled energy.
I think this went
Between
really
the
well.
two of
I
us
don't know.
sometimes,
I
but
thought it
this
sounded
time-
good.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that
It wasn't as bad as when I just talked about Gooby.
Good.
Or that when we talked about that the last episode of WandaVision, that got a little wild.
That was when I just talked about Gooby.
Yeah, that was
Oh, okay. That was
there's a lot of just
So
stuff
thank you, Maddie, for
flying
coming.
around.
If you want, you can follow us on Twitter at NoNerdsPod. You can follow Jackson at Jepperpack. You can follow Adeline at Hollowback Horse. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Jackson posts some video essays there,
I
and they're
truly
very
do.
good, and you should watch them. And if you've watched it, you can watch it again.
Yeah.
Propaganda? What?
What?
Huh?
There's no
Marvel?
limit.
I don't
YouTube
even-
doesn't put a
There's
limit on
no
how many
limit.
times you
Limit
can watch
does not
it, so
exist.
take advantage of it.
Yeah. So watch it again. Watch it a third time. Just going on a rant.
Yeah.
Now you can also join our Discord. We like to chat in there, talk about movies, talk about music, talk about memes, and we talk about fruit.
True.
Especially fruit. So join our Discord. It's a lot of fun in there. And thank you to Maddie for joining us for this special Avatar episode. Is there anything you'd like to plug? And I'm sorry I interrupted you the first time about disability awareness.
That's okay. Happy Disability Awareness Pride Month.
I don't think that's the
Happy
official
late
name
Pride
of it.
Month for all the queer
Is
people.
that what it's called?
It's Disability Pride Month. Yeah, it's Pride Month. It's a pride. I saw it on TikTok. Anyways, follow my TikTok.
Okay.
My TikTok is
What is it?
Ms. Lettuce Swift.
I do. Okay,
You
I
can see
wanted
my
to,
TikTok that Phineas O'Connell commented on.
I wanted to plug my TikTok too, because I'm actually kind of like working it on TikTok right now. I got like almost 100 followers on TikTok right now. So if you want to follow me at Jepperback,
there you go.
I'm mostly talking about comic book stuff. The thing that I have fallen into a groove with on TikTok.
I only really talk about.
Yes, Maddie.
That was what I only talk about things I care about, which is mostly just Taylor Swift and Phoebe Bridgers.
Okay, cool. But just like it's this weird, like I love comic books, but like nobody in my life ever cares to hear me talk about them because like nobody else reads comic books. So like I just found that like TikTok is an outlet where I can like scream into the void about like comic books I like, and then I like get some feedback and people are like, yeah, sick. I'm like, oh, this rules. Never had that before. So that's mostly what I do on TikTok.
Yeah.
Mostly talking about comic books on TikTok. It's good content, though. I made a TikTok earlier today about my extremely harebrained Loki fan theory that I came up with. And it's doing quite well, and people seem kind of mad at me because of how harebrained my Loki fan theory is. So, check it out. Check it out there.
Listen, it's okay. It's fun to have harebrained ideas.
Exactly.
You know, like, ooh,
not taking it personally.
You know what? That you want to keep them guessing.
Yeah.
You want to keep them guessing.
Here's my
theory.
theory.
All right. Any other last minute plugs?
I'll
Maddie?
just say no other.
Oh wait, I want to hear it.
Oh, Maddie, do you have last minute plugs?
You can follow my Twitter at Madison_Rhodes.
Sick. That's on the screen too.
I have an ongoing saga about me trying to sell oil to Governor Jay Inslee. He did not buy oil from me on Wednesday.
He didn't even show up.
Sick.
He didn't even show up. So.
Okay.
What's your Loki theory, though?
Here's my Loki theory. Oh, I guess it's not really a spoiler. Because Tom Hiddleston...
Okay, I have not seen Loki.
Tom Hiddleston has kind of invented the modern Owen Wilson impression, right? Like, he was doing Owen Wilson impressions before that was, like, an impression that people did, right? Like, so the fact that Owen Wilson is in it, and the show deals with, like, alternate versions of different people, I think that Owen Wilson's character is going to turn out to be a version of Loki so that Tom Hiddleston can do his Owen Wilson impression on the show. That's what I think it is. That's my harebrained scheme. I think that's why they cast Owen Wilson. And I'm putting my foot down about it.
Why would people get mad about
but
that?
I don't know. I was quite assertive when I was describing it.
How dare you say that?
Anyway, do you guys want to hear a one-star
really
review
Wilson
of Avatar?
Heavy fans.
Yes.
So, this comes from Letterboxd user Borat Lover. And they say, bloated CGI garbage, not a good movie. Notice how I say movie and not film? Because this is not a film. It does not address the essence of man or any sort of intellectual pursuit. Instead, favoring computer-generated fight scenes that the general populace enjoys with a slack jaw and empty eyes. I hate it. Imagine what they could have done with this movie's budget, but instead, we get this long, dumbed-down swill. I feel pity for all the little ants that like this movie.
I like the idea of someone being like, how many nomad lands could you have made in the budget of Avatar? You're like, they're just different movies? They're different films?
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, my name is Jackson McMurray.
Swill.
My name is Kezia Rhodes.
My name is Maddie Rhodes.
And this has been No Nerds Allowed. Keep it good out there, tiny little ants.
That's
Will.
different. Swill. The swill of
swill drinking ants.
Slack-jawed, glazed-eyed, whatever.
Slack-jawed, swill guzzling ants.
It doesn't even make sense. This movie is like so straightforward with its message too. It's like such a heavy-handed message. Oh well. What can you do? I'm gonna stop my recording now.
Yeah, lots of people in here just being like, what the fuck? Why do they have sex?
Huh?
You're like, grow up, dude.
Grow up.
Because they love each other. That's why. Hello? Did you not see the chemistry?
That's one of the things. That's
Yeah, when
as I mature, here's an opinion I've started to have. People need to stop being babies about sex scenes, I think. People are babies about it most of the time. I think you just need to deal with it.
I'd agree.
Yeah, people get weird about it. They're
So
like,
weird.
why didn't I didn't want to see it. I'm like, it's okay. I don't know.
It made me feel good in like the wrong way. It made me feel good when I watched it, but in a way that I don't want to. And you're like, what? What? A bunch of
what?
Bunch of dang ass prudes. Yeah.
Silly little prude.
And they don't even have sex in this movie.
They're all tiny
No,
little
they like
ants.
hugged.
No, they said that they mated.
I guess it's sex.
Yeah, they said they made it, but all we saw them do was hug and kiss twice.
They kissed, they embraced sensually.
And that was
they did embrace
and then fuck off screen.
I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't know what their sex organs are like.
Yeah. They woke up spooning.
That's true.
He was asleep.
Speaks volumes.
That's true. And she was wearing his old high school jersey, so
yeah. So they mate for life.
We are mated before eyhwa.
Anyway, point of the story is they made for life.
Just get over it.
Get over it. That's what I have
Sorry,
to say.
Sute. It doesn't matter.
I keep ending the podcast with like big hot takes like that.
Get over it. Sex scenes. You know what? I'm just saying that this is another thing. I forgot to put this in my wish list, but there was a cut scene where when Sute died, they find him, like he's still alive, and Jake Sully, he does the same ritual to Sute as he does to the deer, and he's like, thank you, brother, for all of your service, and we love you, and we missed you, but it probably didn't fit into the flow, because it is like at the same time, it's like right after they do the mask thing, I see you.
Right.
So it probably didn't work.
Sounds good.
But it's a good scene. So if they could flash back to that at some point, it'd be like,
yeah. The movie is
but
2 hours and 45 minutes long already, but you know, whatever.
Yes. Yeah, add a 30-second scene. They could have done it. But the flow, I can see how it wouldn't flow.
Oh, I also forgot to say on the podcast that I like how they open the movie. Like, they don't waste any time just, like, getting you right into, like, what we're doing. You know, it's not like he wakes up in the morning and makes
the money
breakfast.
in his for the paper in his pocket.
Yeah, it's like, and then he gets a call and finds out that his brother died, and then, you know, he gets the call from the other guy, and he has to make a decision. And they're just like, no, he's here. They'll describe how he got there, like, over the course of the scene, and then the story starts. You're like, sick. More movies should be like this. Why is there so much bullshit at the beginning of movies?
Yeah. And he... like, because, you know, it's got to be believable.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We'll get there. I feel like Jake Sully doesn't really, like, mourn his brother very much, you know? Like,
he's like, well, sorry, he's dead.
Yeah, to him, his brother died like a week ago, like at the beginning of the movie, and he like uprooted his whole life to go to this planet. He's just like, I'm ready.
And he has no other family. Like no one else is ever mentioned.
Yeah. What's the matter? What, are you mad?
Twin. It's his twin brother.
Are you triggered? Are you triggered that my brother's dead? That's his energy.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's dead. Sorry
He's
that
dead.
I didn't do the science. I did the
facts. Don't care about your feelings. He died.
He's dead.
That one got me. That one got me real good. Yeah, it just feels. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess it never bothered me until this viewing. So I made it through 12 years of viewing this movie. Yeah. But it's like kind of weird that he's not like, sad. Man, I'm really kind of mourning the loss of my twin brother, my identical twin. Yeah. Like, that's a pretty strong bond most of the time.
Okay. I think we'll start to wrap it up.
Maybe they didn't like each other.
I'm hungry for sure. Oh, here's dog cam. Thank you guys, everybody who's in the audience. We had a few people. We had that one guy who was new show up, Zachariah Zane Ziedler. I don't know if they're still hanging around, but if you are, we're happy to have you. And
maybe a ZZ Top.
Dylan says that the Disney ride is really fun. I bet it is. Never been to Florida. Maybe I'll go. And
you ever been to Florida?
No, never been. It's a sad thing about me.
I've been there a few times.
Wow.
That is really sad. That's the sad thing about me.
Yeah.
So you've never been to Daytona Beach?
Never been to Florida.
So you can't see, so you've never seen the Daytona 500 in person?
Not Orlando, not Tallahassee.
That's a real tragedy.
None of the places in Florida. Never been.
Talladega. Is that Florida?
Is Talladega in Florida?
What's Talladega Nights? Where's Talladega Nights? Is that real?
Gotta be Florida.
It is. Talladega is a race.
I know things. It's a race.
Is it a city?
It's in Alabama.
The race to which mountain?
Race to which mountain?
Yeah, good stuff. I don't know what we're talking about. Have a good day, everybody. I'm gonna stop the stream.
It's
I think
not
we're
good.
And we'll see you next week.
Night.
Next week for Black Widow with all three of us,
done.
hopefully. And goodbye.